the subconscious mind will transmute into its physical equivalent by the most direct and practical media available any order that is given to it in a state of belief or faith that the order will be carried out. Hello, I'm Carla, psychotherapist and mindset coach, and on this channel I help you get unstuck and reach your goals by exploring topics that shift your mindset so you can live your highest potential. We're continuing the reading of Think and Grow Rich in 10 Minutes a Day, which is a condensed version of the original classic by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Today we're reading Chapter 2, Faith, the second step toward riches. He opened up with saying, our subconscious mind will transmute into physical form whatever we give to it with feeling and faith. If you haven't seen before, this is a diagram of the mind. This top part represents our mind. We have two parts. The C stands for conscious, our conscious thinking part of the mind. The bottom part, SC, stands for subconscious, or the feeling or emotional part of our mind. This is the part of our mind we're dealing with, the subconscious mind, which runs 95% of our entire life. It's our programming, it's the software, it's our downloads, it's our imprints, it's our codes. Most of them are virus codes. But whatever programming we have installed in our subconscious mind, whatever thoughts, memories, anything we're emotionally involved with and we feel to be true, and they're not always conscious. This is the part of our mind, the subconscious mind that runs our body. It's why we act. If we don't feel anything, we will take no action. We hear it all the time. I'm just not feeling it. I'm not going to go to the party. So you will never go to the party. Those will not be the results you get. If you don't feel something, you will never take action. If you never take action, you'll never get results. Most of the time, we are emotionally involved with feelings that we don't like, so we don't feel well, and then we take actions out of that energy, and then we get results that we don't like. The results in life are just the fruit of the seeds that we plant. This is the soil. This is the seed house. Thoughts are seeds. So whatever seeds we are entertaining and we drop into the soil, meaning we wrap it with our emotion, that rich emotional soil in our heart of hearts, once it's in our subconscious mind, nicely nestled into that beautiful soil, it will produce fruit. And so if we look at the results in our life and we don't like them, we can't change them. They've already been manifested, so to speak. The fruit is already there. But if we want to produce new results, new fruit, we just have to reverse engineer it. Plant new seeds. And these 5 little antennae that's hooked up to our conscious thinking mind represent our 5 physical senses: see, hear, smell, taste, touch. It's how we take in information from the outside world. So think of them. Boop, boop, boop. Everybody around you, all the conversations, all the social media, all the news, all the music you're listening to, come right into that conscious thinking mind. But it's here, the information, the thoughts that we gather, the ideas, the conversations that we gather from our 5 physical senses. Once they're in our conscious thinking mind, we have a choice to either reject them and kick them out and say, I'm not feeling that. I don't agree. I'm not going to get emotionally involved. I'm not going to put any energy into that. I'm not going to plant that into my soil. So we have that choice. That's why they say guard your heart and your mind, your subconscious mind, with all you got. There's like a barrier here. Think of a bouncer that's here to protect. It's not going to let any old thought into the club of your subconscious mind. This is a very elite, special VIP club, but some hoodlums get in there and they cause a muck. They wreak havoc in our outside life. So who do you have standing guard at your heart or your subconscious mind? Don't let any old seed, any thought seed, get into that precious garden of your mind, because it will produce fruit. And I say it all the time, but I love that poem. Your mind is a garden. Your thoughts are seeds. You can grow flowers or you can grow weeds. What kind of seeds are you planting? What kind of harvest are you reaping? What kind of results do you have? We all go through different seasons, and it's okay. The beautiful thing is we are in control. We can change it. And it can be hard sometimes to say, I'm not responsible for this. They did that. They did that. Those are their gardens. Those are their results. And yes, we're human. We have family. We have loved ones. We're connected to people. But again, we don't have to get emotionally involved with what's going on in the outside world, regardless of the outside circumstances or other people's results. How about we don't get emotionally involved with them? That's when it takes that control. We can't always control. Rather, we really can't control all the thoughts that fly into our mind. There's way too many. Intrusive thoughts, just the barrage of activity around us, the stimulation, overstimulation. But we can control the ones that we get emotionally involved with. But a lot of us aren't taught how to use the higher faculties of our mind to create order in our minds. So let's get into the chapter. Chapter 2, Faith, the second step toward riches, from Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. The subconscious mind will transmute into its physical equivalent by the most direct and practical media available. Any order which is given to it in the state of belief or faith, meaning any seed that is given into that heart in a state of belief or faith, that the order will be carried out. Again, whatever seeds continue to drop when we're not paying attention, through repetition, we just believe it to be true. That's just how it is. We accept it as is. We never question it, and we never stop it from coming in. Like I said, it's that bouncer at the door. Oh, he's a regular, just let him on in. But do we ever question, like, what is this person really doing for me? What is this thought really doing? How is it making me feel? How does this belief integrate with the new version of myself? That's the most difficult thing to do when we really take our beliefs, what we've been raised to believe as true, and start to question them. It's very disturbing. But every action we take, the results in our life are really a direct reflection of what we believe, what we have faith in. So if your life is not the way you want it, not the way you desire, not the way you truly believe that you deserve to have it, I want you to check in. What are you believing? What have you been taught? Is it working for you? Is it working for your family and friends? Faith is an emotion. Thoughts which are mixed with any of the feelings of emotion constitute a magnetic force which attracts other similar or related thoughts. Like attracts like. Whatever we put out, we're going to get back. It's like the echo. People are jerks. People are jerks. That's our experience. I never get what I want. I never get what I want. That's what we experience. Whatever we're putting out, we get back. Third law of motion, physics, baby. When Hill writes about faith, the second step to riches, he is not dealing exclusively with religious beliefs. That is only one expression of it. He defines faith more broadly as the visualization and belief in the attainment of desire. We experience this belief in an emotional register. It adds intensity to our thoughts. Hill identifies 3 key emotions that enhance the vibrational frequency of our thoughts. In other words, that increase their efficacy at gaining momentum and materializing it into a definite plan for success. These are faith, love, and sex. The first 2 are physical emotions, experienced purely in the mind, whereas the latter, sex, is entirely biological. When we focus on an idea, plan, or purpose in a state of mind comprised of faith, love, and sexual desire, we harness the cosmic force that Hill refers to as infinite intelligence, a concept that derives from Ralph Waldo Emerson's well-known essay, Self-Reliance. In it, Emerson writes, "In that deep force, the last fact behind which analysis cannot go, all things find their common origin. We first share the life by which things exist, and afterwards see them as appearances in nature, and forget that we have shared their cause. Here is the fountain of action and of thought. Here are the lungs of that inspiration which giveth man wisdom, and which cannot be denied without impiety and atheism. We live in the lap of immense intelligence, which makes us receivers of its truth and organs of its activity." Wow, that's a whole lot. This immense intelligence could also be called nature, the universe, God, or transcendental consciousness. It is the cosmic energy that finds expression in humans and connects us with a greater source of goodness and wisdom in the universe. Applying positive emotions to a thought cause it to become more firmly entrenched in our mind, while also energizing it to seek an outlet in physical form, in the realization of that idea, plan, or purpose. The process can be represented by the following diagram. Thought plus positive emotions, either faith, love, or sex, lead to an action plan, which lead to a physical manifestation of the thought. It is important to note that action is required, both in terms of the active cultivation of productive thoughts and positive emotions, as well as in terms of creating and following through on a direct plan of action. Infinite intelligence alone will not manifest your wishes. Bob Proctor, my mentor, used to always say, God won't do anything for you, but he'll do anything through you. It will, however, join forces with your thoughts, magnetized by the positive emotions, and send more of what you're putting out into the universe back to you, while also strengthening your resolve to carry out your purpose. Again, whatever we are putting out, that thought force, that thought energy, is just going to be returned to us. That's why it's so important to understand what we're putting out. What are we allowing in here? What are we allowing in here, or that subconscious mind? It bears repeating that the universe does not discriminate between positive or negative impulses of thought. That's why we see people with such conviction with their evil agendas, hateful, nasty, ignorant, destructive agendas, and they succeed because they have such faith and conviction in their vision of manifesting it. And remembering again, if this is the soil is amoral. This is the subconscious mind. It doesn't care what you plant in it. The seed, you plant a carrot, it's going to give you a carrot. You plant a sweet potato, it's going to give you a sweet potato. And you'll see it out here. You plant a big attack, it's going to come out here. It doesn't matter what you plant. If you get emotionally involved in your vision, whether it's destructive or constructive, it will come out here. The soil is amoral. It does not care. It has no good or bad, negative or positive. It just is. And it will give you whatever whatever you put, whatever seed you put, good or bad. Again, it bears repeating that the universe doesn't discriminate between positive or negative impulses of thought. If your emotions are magnetizing destructive thoughts, it will aid in your unconscious effort to attract misfortune. Most bad luck is a result of people having faith that bad things will happen to them. That's why it's crucial to feed your subconscious positive thoughts backed by the firm belief that you will receive what you're asking for. Your subconscious will begin to direct your movements toward that end, which will make it easier to achieve your desires, as the universe will also be harmonizing with your thoughts and bringing opportunities your way. However, our environments will inevitably contain negative influences. And so, along with working to create a favorable field of magnetic attraction through the positive emotions of love, faith, and sex, we must actively reject negative energy. All influences or vibrations should be filtered as they enter our consciousness, whatever's coming into that conscious part through our 5 physical senses, whatever we're seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. We have to filter those. Remember, that's the point where we can kick them out or keep them and put them into our subconscious mind. So all influences or vibrations should be filtered as they enter our consciousness. So all influences or vibrations that come in should be filtered as they enter the conscious mind so that our subconscious mind does not internalize those destructive thoughts. On to the next section, how to cultivate faith. Faith is a state of mind which may be induced or created by affirmation or repeated instructions to the subconscious mind through the principle of autosuggestion. This is so very important. Autosuggestion is just a suggestion from yourself to yourself, meaning we have a thought and we drop it down into the subconscious mind. We clothe it with emotion or the precious soil of our subconscious mind. So whatever we're repeating to ourselves, whatever thoughts we continuously think, and if we are not actively paying attention and kicking them out, they will by default fall into that subconscious mind and nestle themselves in that soil. If we continue to surround ourselves with certain conversations, certain information, certain environments, it continues to impress on our subconscious mind. And so when we have these thoughts and we choose to drop them in our subconscious mind, meaning getting emotionally involved with them, or we're not paying attention at all, the conscious thinking mind, we're not thinking. And so when we are not thinking, the guard is asleep. This gate is wide open. There's no bouncer at the door, so to speak. So anything will just fall into our subconscious mind. And that's why it's so important to think, to consciously be aware of, what am I surrounding myself with? How is it making me feel? We have to stand guard and pay attention, because anything that's continually repeated, we witness it in the news during the pandemic. Right now, there's a recession. Are you allowing yourself to get emotionally involved with it? All of the fear, all of the negative news, trying to control you through that fear, trying to get you emotionally involved in the thoughts that they want you to get emotionally involved with so that you keep getting the results that they want you to get. They meaning whoever has an agenda. As a positive emotion, faith can be cultivated. However, it requires acting on these principles. You cannot simply read your way to faith and success. The primary means of developing faith is through the same mechanism that translates one's desires into their physical equivalent. Autosuggestion, also called self-suggestion, is the repetition of affirmations so that the subconscious incorporates the affirmed thought into its framing of reality and protects this reality by actively working to achieve or maintain this end. More on this principle can be found in Chapter 3. Our next video. By repeatedly suggesting to yourself that you have faith, you will develop faith. Just as we tend to become like the influences in our environment, Hill uses the example of how spending long periods of time with criminals causes our subconscious to begin to rationalize the acceptability of criminality and begin engaging in illegal behavior ourselves. And it could be on a small level. I use an example in another video I did. I used to work for a restaurant and people would like sneak food and take food, pretty much steal food. And at first, like day one, I was like, I'm a good employee. I'm not going to do that. Cut to like 4 years later, I'm like taking bread. I'm taking all the, whatever, because it's just normalized when really it's theft. And so what's influencing us? What are we surrounding ourselves with? For example, we look at the projects or lower income housing, and studies show we see the same repetition of behaviors. There's a high crime rate, buying and selling of drugs, theft. It's not a coincidence. It's just what the children are raised into, and they think that's normal. So they just do what they see around them. On the other hand, a child that's raised in a middle-class neighborhood, blue-collar parents, are they better? Are they better people? Are they making smarter choices? No, they're just following what they see in their environment, what they're exposed to. We literally are programmed two ways, genetically and environmentally. And our environment is so much more powerful than our genetic conditioning. We can convince ourselves that we have faith by reiterating the idea that we have it. When we talk and act as though we already have the attribute or item we desire, we can change the way we think, which ensures our subconscious will partner with the infinite intelligence to create the riches we desire. So this is really tapping into the infinite, unlimited unconscious mind, collective consciousness that we all have access to. Hill's formula for self-confidence. All impulses of thought have a tendency to clothe themselves in their physical equivalent. One of the greatest weaknesses a person can have is a lack of self-confidence. That is the truth. Having a lack of self-esteem, having a lack of self-confidence. If our self-image, the way we think of ourselves, is low, we won't achieve great things. You can't outperform your self-image. So it behooves us to get a really great self-image. It might have been beaten out of us. We might have never had one, but you can change that right now through auto-suggestion. When we have faith that we absolutely can and will attain what we most desire, we are unstoppable. Below is the formula for developing and enhancing one's self-confidence that is supported by the law of autosuggestion, otherwise known as the law of attraction. The principle of nature dictating that we become what we think about. Like attracts like. Number 1, not only can I achieve my definite chief aim, but I will achieve it. So I promise to take consistent action to attain it. Number 2, acknowledging that my dominant thoughts will become reality. I commit to focusing 30 minutes each day on a clear mental picture of what I most want to become and what my life looks like when I have achieved this desire. Get a vision board, get on Pinterest, listen to your favorite song and see yourself like in a music video. Get emotionally involved in something that makes you feel so good, raises your vibration. Number 3, recognizing that whatever desire I focus upon will seek expression in physical form. I will spend 10 minutes every day insisting to my subconscious mind that I am self-confident. You might feel cheesy doing this, repeating affirmations, but really we're affirming to ourselves 24/7. It never stops, this self-suggestion. It's our thoughts that are repeated. And so if we're getting results we don't want, that's actually more embarrassing, to get the same bad results over and over. More embarrassing than repeating affirmations or looking at yourself and doing the mirror work and, repeating these things, making a vision board. Who cares what anybody else thinks? We're talking to ourselves 24/7. Make it good. Number 4, having written down my definite chief aim in life, I promise myself that I will never stop trying to achieve it. Number 5, I commit to basing all my efforts on a love of humanity and an intolerance for the lower emotions such as hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism. I will decline any opportunity that does not benefit all parties involved, realizing that service to others is the surest way to build allies and attain success. This formula should be repeated out loud once a day with full faith that it will progressively influence your thoughts and actions until you acquire the riches you desire. And Napoleon Hill states that riches does not just mean the physical money, riches in health, riches in relationships, riches in peace of mind. But he uses riches in money because it's measurable. It's a result you can see. And actually earned money is return for a service you're giving. And so if we don't have a lot of money, it means we're not giving valuable service. And he always ends with an action item. Fake it till you make it. Throughout the day, state your desire to your subconscious mind as though you are already in possession of it. Describe in detail what your life looks like once your desire has been attained. This visualization activity will enhance your self-confidence and your faith. How is your faith game? Do you have faith in yourself? How's your self-confidence? How's your self-image? How's your self-talk? What are you suggesting to yourself? What is your auto-suggestion like? What is your mental diet? Look at your results. They will show you what they are. And this is so powerful because when we get it, we realize that we are in control of our life. We can change anything. Are we living in faith or are we living in fear? Remember, fear and faith both demand that we believe in something that we can't see. So let's build our faith up. I hope you enjoyed that. We're going to continue the reading. So next video will be chapter 3, and that's on autosuggestion. So I hope to see you guys there. I'll see you next time.